We are ECSA, the European Composer and Songwriter Alliance, a professional alliance formed by over 60 associations of composers, songwriters, and lyricists from all over Europe.
We are music authors, and we want to bring your attention to the Copyright Directive, which was adopted by the European Union in April 2019.
From 7 June onwards, Member States have 1 year to transpose this directive into their national legislation. Some of them have started this process, but there's still much to be done. The countdown begins now.
The Copyright Directive's objectives for music authors are clear. First, make sure music creators can be better remunerated for the online exploitations of their works on video sharing platforms such as YouTube.
These platforms are making huge profits, but they retain the value of the cultural and creative works. Far too often, there's little to no return for the songwriters and composers.
Implementing Article 17 of the directive puts an end to this situation by stating that these platforms must get a license, as other competing services like TV and radio do.
We think it's fair because we want citizens to enjoy our pieces and to get a fair share of the value created by our works.
The directive also aims at strengthening the contractual position of individual creators, who are in a systemic weak bargaining position when they sign contracts for the exploitation of their works. The directive contains 4 basic rights to do so.
So first, it introduces the principle of appropriate and proportionate remuneration for authors. We ask the Member States to make this principle mandatory to stop the practice of buyouts, which prevent creators from being fairly remunerated for their work.
Second, the Copyright Directive introduces the obligation to regularly inform the music authors on the exploitation of their works.
Third, the bestseller clause. It will allow the music creator whose work has been a success to get an additional share of the profits if the initial remuneration was disproportionate.
And last but not least, the right of revocation. This will allow music creators to take back their rights in case their works are not being exploited.
The current situation is unfair and lasted for too long. Now is the time to improve the livelihoods of all the music authors and foster Europe's creativity.
That's why we call on all EU member states to engage in an ambitious and faithful implementation of this directive. The countdown begins now.
Why? Because as music creators, we should be able to make a living from YouTube and other online sharing platforms.
Because we should ban buyouts and get appropriate and proportionate remuneration for the use of our works.
Because we should get transparent information about the exploitation of our art.
Because we should be able to benefit from our creative work.
Because we should get our rights back if those who exploit them are not doing their job.
Because it's time to be fair to European composers and songwriters.
Join the efforts of European music authors to ensure their voice is heard. It is time for the directive to deliver its promises to European authors.
Share this video and help us to protect the future of thousands of music creators.
Thank you.
Dankeschön.
Tack.
Merci.
Dankjewel.
Kiitos.
Merci.
Dankeschön.
Gracias.
Merci.
Tusen tak.
Благодарам.
Dziękuję.
Tak.
Obrigado. Tusen tak.
Gurav Mahagat, thank you.
Dankjewel.
Gracias.
Hvala.
Tak.